Alright, it's your boys Zxous, and we're back with another Goddess of Victory Nikke video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about who is better between Blanc and Senti, because obviously Blanc is somewhat of a contender to be the new best burst 2 character in the game, but there's something that is actually holding her back, like by a big amount, or somewhat holding her back. That's controversial. That's actually not giving her the W completely. So we're going to be talking about these two characters because I do think this is a pretty good topic as well, right? Senti versus Blanc. So right now, Senti is the best burst 2 character in the game. She's useful literally everywhere. She's good for progression. She's good for story. She's good everywhere, right? But the main reason why she is good is because of her shield and burst generation, of course, right? She is one of the fastest burst generators in the game, but really it's her shield. Like, her burst skill is cool, but it's not anything too crazy. Lowers defense by 14.54% for 10 seconds for 5 enemies with the lowest HP. It's only really going to be beneficial, I feel like, if you're only fighting bosses, but in an area where there's mobs who already have no HP, who are already weak, right, and stuff like that, then I don't feel like it's going to be all that crazy, right? But what Senti is really known for is her shield, that she can basically activate at will, not at will, but activate every other, I just want to say 3 to 4 seconds once this procs, right? After the 5 seconds, of course. Now, Senti is a, not Senti, Blanc. Blanc is a character who has that same shield, right? But first, let me explain for anybody who's new. The reason why shields in this game are so different than or so broken in this game is because it's different from other games, right? Usually in other games, you know shields as to be like an extra HP bar. So if a shield capacity had, let's say, 100 damage, right? And the boss did 110 damage, the shield will take 100 damage and the remaining 10 damage from the 110 damage would overlap onto your HP. In this game, the shields actually nullify the damage completely. So for example, let's say I have a shield of the capacity of 1 damage, right? So 1 damage would break it, but the boss was about to do 1 billion damage. Rather than the boss breaking the shield and doing the rest of the damage onto my HP, they would just break the shield and that would be considered a kill, so the damage wouldn't actually overlap to my HP, essentially, right? The shield just nullifies the rest of the damage even if it doesn't equal up to the capacity or the amount of the damage, basically. The capacity doesn't equal up to the damage, exactly, right? So it's very good in this game. Now, the thing about Blanc is that she also has the same shield. It doesn't work exactly the same, right? Senti's is one that happens after 9 seconds, right? It lasts for 5 seconds. It's just gonna be every other 9 seconds, right? Including the 5 seconds timing down with the actual shield. It's just gonna be going off every other 9 seconds. Blanc's is a shield that actually you can activate, right? You can control it yourself. You activate it after landing 120 normal attacks, right? So, and that could be very good and very bad for a lot of people, because 120 for it being bad is in the sense that you need 120 bullets to go off. While you're trying to get that off, Senti probably could have already had it because hers is automatically happening. But then again, it's good because if you really need the shield, you can really just control it, right? Time it perfectly and control it for that you can get, so that you can get the shield beforehand, essentially, right? So that's why it's very broken for Blanc and Senti. And keep in mind, Blanc's shield actually at level 1, this is level 1 stats, is higher than Senti's shield capacity at level 10. It's very insane, right? So there's that as well, to keep that in mind. Now, like I said, Senti's main focus is the shield and the burst generation, right? The thing about Blanc, though, is that she's actually doing a lot more than Senti overall. She's creating a shield, healing, increasing max HP, and giving indomitability to an ally with the lowest HP. And then also damage taken to all enemies are actually increased by 40% for 10 seconds, right? Now, the thing about that burst skill is that it's a 60-second cooldown unless you have Noir, who is the other character from the same squad, which actually reduces that down from 60 to 20 seconds. It's a very nasty mechanic, but the problem with Blanc is that you're forced to have another character on the team, being this girl right here, right? They didn't have her skills here, but this is the other character you have to have on the team for Blanc to get the complete full usage and capabilities. From turning this to 60 to 20, yes, it is very, very good. But to have another character by force to do it, like by force to have this character specifically, right, is a bit of a problem. Now, I feel like this would have been a completely different case if it didn't say and when the allies from the same squad, but if they said when an allies from the same manufacturing group, or if the ally was a burst 2 character, or if the ally was an AR, that would be a completely different story. But it says you have to have an ally from the exact same squad, and the only other character from that squad is Noir. That's it. So you're forced to summon for her, which is a bit of a problem for most. Now, it's not all that bad of a problem because Noir is also a pretty good character herself, right? She actually gives more value to Blanc from her kit, right? Increasing attack, reload magazine, or reload the mags, increasing the ammo capacity by 5, giving hit rate for Blanc, which is going to be very good, damage to interruption parts in general, that's very good. Like, she is a very, very good support to Blanc and to the entire team as well. But the problem is Blanc is needed, like, she needs another character. So who would I say is better in general? Now, if we look at their shields, it's like I said, this one is really going to be a hot take or a controversial because it depends on what you want more. Do you want a shield that automatically procs every 9 seconds? Or do you want a shield that, I mean, 120 bullets would happen in under 9 seconds too. So technically, yes, Blanc's shield is better, right? Her shield mechanic is better, right? Realistically, you would get 120 bullets within 9 seconds. Anybody could do that, right? That's simple. I think actually somebody said in the comments that you can get 120 bullets in within under 5 seconds or something like that, which I don't know too much. I didn't really test how long it would take. Actually, let me go test right now. I'll be back. All right, so after testing, it takes, I want to say 10 to 15 seconds to get around 120 bullets. Now, the reason why is because obviously it takes, I want to say around 8 to like 10 seconds just to, I think it's like 8 seconds actually, 8 or 7 seconds to just get around off 60 bullets, right? So obviously, depending on your reload speed, it can go faster, it can go slower. It's really up to how your reload speed is. But still, it is going to be like a couple seconds longer than Senti's regardless. And you got to remember, Senti also has her first skill, which is lowering the cooldown of her skill to even more. So you're literally, you know, getting the shield way more consistently with Senti's overall, right? It's just how it works. So would I say Blanc is better than Senti? Right? Because if I'm going off pros and cons, just off their kits and stuff like that, the pros about Senti is that she has a spammable shield essentially and burst generation, great burst generation. And if we want to give her the benefit of the doubt, we can do the defense lower as well, right? But the pros for Blanc is that she has a shield as well, not as like consistent, I want to say, as Senti's, but she does have a shield that you can actually control. She heals, and then she also gives indomitability, increases max HP, and she has damage taken increased by 40%. Now, the cons with Blanc is that you have to have another character for that to be very, very, very effective, because if you don't, then it's a 60-second cooldown, which means by using Blanc alone, you're forced to bring another burst 2 character on the team with a 20-second cooldown, where the cons for Senti is that she's what's their cons really? What did they even say? I don't have no cons. What's it called? Rocket launchers resulting in limited ROF, sure. Debuff okay. So I gave you the benefit of the doubt of the debuff, but the defense down. But yeah, it's really just the rocket launchers, right? So I don't know what I would say. I think I would say Senti as a solo character, of course. Oh, okay. Senti all around, I'm going to say Senti is better than Blanc, right? As a solo character for doing one-on-one, I will say Senti is better, just because yes, Blanc does have her uses, but if you're not with Noir, you're rarely getting most of her kit, which is from her burst skill, which just means she now has healing and then the shield, right? And that's all she adds to the table, where Senti has the whole time defense lower, a shield, and burst generation, right? right, consistently shielding and then burst generation. So I would say Senti is better than Blanc just because of that case. But I do, no question, think Blanc and Noir is 10 times better than Senti because you're what she's able to do, right? But obviously I cannot say Blanc is better than Senti with Noir. That's just not fair. So yeah, you guys definitely let me know what you think. Let me know if you guys agree with my points or if you don't agree with my points. Of course, this is just a video for all of us to share our opinions on, right? It's gonna be your boy Zxous, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out later. Peace.